The first should February the 2nd. So it's already February the 2nd. So good afternoon. It's February the 2nd, 2024. All right. So the title of this live is Debt is a Behavior. And the reason why I titled it Debt is a Behavior um, is because I want to switch up my lives. I want to change a little flavor, flavor, flavor. These last few days, I've talked about dating, um, interacting with women. So that I want to switch it up. And there could be an aspect of dating in this because it's very expensive to date. In fact, in my past, or in the past few days, in regard of my past, I've put one and two together, one and two or whatever they say, and I think that I've had better luck in the past with love and women and whatnot when I had no money versus now. Um, anyways, so debt is a behavior. We're gonna start off with Dave Ramsey. If you YouTube Dave Ramsey right now, he has a channel, and there are a lot of shorts about him where people will call in and they'll be like, I've got $20 million of debt and da da da, and then he'll tell you what to do. But it's a short, so they leave a little cliffhanger, right? Well, let me make sure I can get home too. By the way, guys, one second, guys. So yeah, let me set this GPS going. All right, one click, take me home. I got to be careful about my GPS because it likes to take me through toll routes, and I don't want to go through any tolls. Obey traffic laws, be alert, and Yep. use voice commands while driving. Thank you. All right, so yeah, that is a behavior. Dave has this thing he calls the snowball method. The snowball method is, let's say you have a various amount of debt. Let's say you have 50K of debt. Let's say 10,000 is, credit cards, 30 30,000 is car, and then 10,000 is some sort of private loan that you took. And then that's 50, and then let's say you have a mortgage of like 200K. So altogether 250K of debt. Well, he talks about a snowball method. Snowball method is when you pay down your lowest amount, regardless of APR of what you're paying in interest, regardless of the balance, pay that down, regardless of all the math in it. So if you have a debt that's $19, pay that off, and then take the monthly amount that you should be paying for it. Let's say you're paying $1 every month, right? Now next month, whatever you have 19 plus $1, so you have $20 you can pay, right? So your next lowest bill is $200. You just keep tackling that, and then that monthly payment is what, $10 a month. So then you can take now you have $30 a month that you could be paying somebody, your next bill. You just keep doing that till it goes away. Well, a lot of self-proclaimed intelligent people have replied to him in their own, shorts or reels, and then they say, "Oh, we're gonna call this the avalanche method." And avalanche method is like it sounds. You basically knock off a pillar, and then your debt just starts to avalanche over, right? So, in our scenario, instead of paying a $19 bill, then let's say you had a lump sum or something somehow or whatever, you attack, the $10,000 of credit cards, or maybe you attack the $30,000 of card note, and then your 400, 500, 600, $800 card note, you then avalanche that into the other ones. And that's what it's called, the avalanche effect. Well, one guy called in to him. I forget what he called, exactly how called it, but he said, one guy actually had the nerve to, or the I don't want to say balls. One guy had the, he called in, and so he said, "Hey, I don't agree with you." Da da. Da. Whatever he said, because I don't recall it anymore. Dave replies with, "Well, that isn't mathematical. That is not mathematical. That is behavioral." And I absolutely agree with him. That is behavioral. If it was mathematical, then you would never be in debt. It's crazy. You and your behavior got yourself into debt, and now you want to be mathematical once you're up shit creek. Now you want to be logical. Now you know you shouldn't buy a $30,000 car if your income is only 40K a year. Now you know mortgage is fine, I guess. Now you know you shouldn't have $10,000 of credit card debt. Now you know that you shouldn't join the average American and have a whopping $5,000 of eating out every year bill. The average American eats out 5K a month. Yeah, apparently. I believe it too. It sounds about right. So yeah, especially with all these women wanting us to take them out to the $400 dinner date, and I don't even know their last name. They don't even know our first name. Our name on their contact is saved as lobster guy, as steak, tire, oil change, little dick energy, big dick energy, good dick energy, free alcohol, free weed. Anyways, so so he replies a day. Mr. Ramsey says, it's behavioral. It's not logical. Um, so you just want to attack the smaller ones. I had a friend. I've had two good friends now. One, I told him this before. Actually both of them before I found this clip I'm talking about. So I've been practicing this and advising people along this line way before I saw this clip. So my friend, we're gonna call. Oh, both of them have the same kind of name. They both start with, J. We're gonna call J1, J2. So like Johnny, right? So Johnny one, right? He 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now, he redid his basement bathroom. Yes, there's a bathroom in the basement. He did it, and he has a true ranch home where it's just like, so it's not even a basement. So I don't know why it's a basement. He has a true rancher. He has a true. There is one room that's elevated that you have to go up the stairs, but it's really one room in an entire basement of a home, but or a house with an attic, a established attic. Anyways, so he redid his bathroom. He got himself into about 8 grand of debt through Home Depot, and we were talking on the phone, shooting shit at the pool house, and he asked me, well, he didn't really ask me. More so, he shares his opinion that he should go refinance his home because he's been talking to somebody and pull money out from there to kill off his debt. And I sat on the phone for damn near 2 hours advising him against it. And I said, dude, because his mom passed away. He and his two brothers inherited a home. One brother's not around. The other brother is, but not really of big help. Anyways, so he's really the man of the house, and the brother that is around is like his tenant, if anything, right? Um. So, anyways, I tell him, hey, your mom spent a lot of time putting in whatever she did put in. They were raised in that home. And when I say, if let's say that home was $100,000 house, when he inherited that home, there was still about 80,000 or 70,000 left. Like there was still a good portion that you would have thought would have been already paid down. And that's why, guys, I keep advising everybody, you really need to try to pay down your home. Don't sleep on it. Pay down your freaking house. Pay it down. Stop sleeping on it. You know, be aggressive about it. You need to be putting in an extra payment, extra whole payment as principal every month. You really do. The Xbox can wait. The whatever. Just pay it down. So she hadn't even gone to the point where the principal would be greater than the interest. She was still eating up high interest right before she passed, you know? And they were raised in this home. So we're talking about a home that they remember. And we're like 25 now, 24, 20. So my friend is 25. So 30-year mortgage, right? You should only have 5 years left on your freaking mortgage. It's amazing because I actually didn't even think about this. And I told him, I didn't think about it like in that regard that this man is 24, 25. All he knows is that house. And there should only be 6 more years of payment left on this home. So, anyways, well, he still goes and does it, even against my advice. He goes, he refinances the home, he takes out the 8 grand or whatever, he pays off his Home Depot credit card. It feels great. I wish people could feel that same zesto and accomplishment by paying off their damn house, but whatever. People. It's amazing how you could be doing this thing and you'll get more accomplishment going to cut your neighbor's grass. You know, a lot of people behave that way. Instead of like taking care of their family, their close friends, they'll treat a stranger better than they treat their own. You know. Anyways, it's weird, but maybe you feel as if you think, yeah, it's more like a feeling. Maybe it's that you feel that everybody's already accustomed to you. There's really nothing that you can do that. People take you for granted. There's nothing that you can do that will make people, will surprise somebody, will shock somebody. Everybody takes you for granted. You're like the oxygen in the air. You just kind of are there. You know. Anyway, so moving on. So he goes and gets it. He pays down the credit card, pays it completely off. We're talking 6 months later. He's maxed out the credit card again for whatever reason. It's a behavioral thing. Debt is behavioral. It's behavioral. Behavioral. It's a behavior. Debt is a behavior. It's not logical. It's behavior. You know? That goes with dates. Going on dates. You should be doing XYZ with your money, but then you meet the hot girl. And now you gotta go on this date. Or you meet that guy. Now you buying makeup and shit that you shouldn't be buying. That's debt. That occurs, you incur that through your feelings and what's going on in life, right? Like my other friend I'm gonna bring up, he went to a pet store and he never imagined he'd walk out with $2,000 of debt because he bought a woman a dog. And all that happened was they went up to the cash register. They were told the price. She says, "Oh, well, if you don't have the money, then just say so." Literally flipped her hair and walked off, leaving him there with the puppy. And then he said he felt pressure, so he bought the dog. I was like, dude, you need to start calling me before you make these decisions. Since then, he's only called me once, and he continues to make terrible financial decisions on his behavior. If a girl said, "Oh, if you don't got the money, then that's and flips her hair, leaves," I'm leaving the dog and her at that store because I drove us here. I'm leaving everybody here. Like Corey Holcomb, you only got one life, and people want to treat you like shit. They don't care. You don't need to care if it's your mama, your daddy, your parent. Excuse me, your siblings or your own children. If they don't have respect for you, especially as a man, and they don't want to treat you right, drop them and get gone. Drop them and get out of there. Especially as a man, because the ability to walk away and drop everything is you telling the world that you are not going to be enslaved. You cannot just run my life, and that's gonna put order and structure into people to behave and act accordingly. That is a behavior. So going back to Johnny one, so 6 months later we're talking. He says, "Buka, you're right. I should never have refinanced this home. Took the money and put it in there." And I said, "You know, the reason why is I wish I could have told him that that was a behavior, like Dave said." And I told him the reason why this happened. Now, like I told you the first time and the fifth time, because I freaking talked his ear off, was it's better to slowly pay this off and keep what you got with your home situation than pay this off fast. But I really hope him calling doesn't mess up this audio. I need to go back through the videos and make sure that when people call, they don't mess up my live audios. You know, let me click one or two things. You know, try to make sure the audio's there, because I'd hate to talk for an hour and the audio's not there. Okay, so look, and me and him talk because he messed up my live the other time. He didn't. Johnny too. Then who is this? When somebody texts you good morning. Oh, now she's texting me good evening. I'll have to hit her up later. This is my potential Muslim wife. She lives in Morocco. She texts me good morning, good evening. She's so sweet. I don't save people's numbers, so it's really wild for me to see like 212 and like so many numbers. 212 is the area code for Morocco. Yeah, I'm a passport bro. I am talking to everybody everywhere. I don't care if you're Muslim, if you Roman Catholic, if you're Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese. I don't care. As long as you talk to me like you got sense and you got respect and you care. I don't care. And honestly, these Muslim girls, they just like the Christian girls. They walk the same way. They put on the facade that they don't because you think Muslim, you think all that. No, they behave the same way. The same way. They have the same female tendencies. You know, y'all can have a whole great conversation, laughing, joking. You say one wrong thing, then they take it to their feelings. Next, you know, she's not talking to you for 2 3 days, and then she pops back up later on, and she'll hold these grudges and pull them around, trying to like. And the only reason why they girls do that is try to like enslave your mind, so that they can just do whatever they want with you. And the thing about it is, they try to make you the good guy or whatever, right? And then a guy walks up like me, who don't see them lines. I just walk straight through it, take your girl and go home. Why? Because they don't really care about all that. The nicer you are to them, the less respect they have for you. It's twisted. I don't know why, but it is. They When a girl treats you bad and you don't put her in check or completely ignore that nonsense and just walk on by or leave or detach or abandon, like just drop her like it's hot. They for some reason think in their mind that if they can fool you, you can be fooled by the world, and so they feel less protected and safe with you. And then also there's this feature. One of my good friends, me and her were just talking for hours yesterday. It's like they like to look for broken dudes who have all this baggage and situations, and they want to fix them. And literally out of the mouth of my friend, she was talking about how She's hoping that even if it doesn't work out, that at least I leave him with a little bit of hope that, you know, of goodness or whatever. I wouldn't put too much detail out there. And I'm like, hey, yo, bestie, what are you talking about? This man's already lived his life. He's literally half a century old. What are you talking about? If he feels like there's no hope or whatever, right? He's lived literally half a century. He's lived half a century. This is not your job. And I told her, you played around in your 20s, don't play around in your 30s. These next 4 to 5 years are more important to you than 20, 30 of his years right now. I promise you. Because in 30 years, you're talking about you and yours. And he's talking about where should I get buried? You know? And so for that to come out here, whatever, back to our subject, because I've gone from Muslim to that, back to debt is a behavior. So yeah. So I told my friend that, the reason why it's called revolving debt is because once you pay it off, it comes right back. And one of the main reasons, whenever you pay off a debt too fast, it always comes back. That's really the main thing about it. Why? Because you never fix the problem. The problem is you're spending too much. You're buying things that you don't need. You're overreaching for things that you cannot afford. So once you pay this off somehow, miraculously, you're going to end up having debt all over again. Not years from now, not months from now, but in the next few days. That's what that is, you know. And I told him, I told my buddy, several times. I told him, listen, don't do it. Your mama, y'all been there for so many years, and you still have a pretty significant amount of debt. Chill. He didn't want to listen. He did not want to listen. So now he's come back talking about, Buka, you right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm literally right back where I started. And it really pained me because I know, look, when you take $8,000 out of your mortgage, it is not $8,000. $8,000. I looked at my mortgage thing the other day for this current house. Only $500 goes to my principal. So 8 divided by 8 times 2, right? That's 16 payments. 16 payments, and then like about 1,200 goes to interest. 16 times 12, right? We're talking about going upwards about 15, 16 grand versus an $8,000 credit card debt. Now his argument was, well, it doesn't make sense because my $8,000 credit card debt is at an APR of 18, 20, 25% or 18%, whatever. Yeah, but you're not going to be paying on that for the next 10 years. Whereas it took your mama years. We're talking about my interest and my principal. I don't know what that interest principal is because that's a home in Alabama. So a home in Alabama means that your house payment isn't 2 to 3 grand or 4 or 5 grand. It's more so like $500, and so interest would be like 300 plus, and then principal would be maybe 150. So to get $8,000 from 150 is years, years. His mom spent years building that equity in his home, and in a matter of months, he lost it, and then it re-incurred that same debt. For him to get back to where he was with that home, right? He not only has to build up 8 grand, and he has to pay it as principal while paying his monthlies. You could do that over and over for a credit card debt. Easy. But it took years to get to where you just set yourself back. And I tried to tell him. He didn't want to listen. I told him so many times. He does not want to listen. You know, guys, always ask yourself this question. Because there's a guy at work right now. I keep trying to tell him, don't go buy some house in the Midwest. Focus on paying off your home here. If you do really want to go to the Midwest, you could sell your home and roll it into a new home in the Midwest. If you could sell your home here, roll it into the home in the Midwest without having to pay capital gains tax. So you focusing on paying down your principal don't does not hurt you. But you owning two homes, mortgage here 2,500, mortgage there 2,500, you talking about $5,000 liability plus fixing up the home and keeping it maintained during the recession. Mainly, ideally, we just worry about recessions. So yeah, back to Johnny One. So back to Johnny One. So yeah, Johnny One and I talking. He's just shaking his head. He said, "You're so right." I says, "I know I'm right. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not here to lie to you." It's amazing how, by the way, speaking of debt is behavior. When I was going through depression, I spent a lot of money trying to fill the hole that my ex had left in me, and I didn't realize it, but I was actually apparently dating a narcissist. Where they love bomb you, everything's so great, so wonderful, so easy. Then they pull you in, and then the rest of the relationship, you're just fighting. You fight as hard as you can to keep this person happy. And I definitely felt that throughout the whole relationship. Throughout 60% of that relationship, I felt as if I was trying to entertain this woman to keep her happy, so she don't leave. And then they cut you off, drain you, literally drain you spiritually. They got you walking on eggshells around the house. That's how much. They could probably go rob a bank and then say to you that it's your fault. You agree. That's what narcissists do. Because you over here in your mind thinking about all the good times that you guys had, right? And she's telling you that y'all never have that ever again. She's telling you y'all will never have that ever again. But in the beginning, she was telling you that roses are red, violets are blue. I'll give you the mountains and the sky of hue. I don't know. I still don't know what freaking hue is, but that's been the poem I keep saying that I wrote apparently. Hue is a shade of color. So sky of hue, like a shade of sky. What shade of sky? Who knows? But yeah, so after she left, my behavior was I was flying places. I picked up a new hobby since doing videos like this, right? But taking shots, cinema, going traveling, So I grew and I enjoyed myself. I had a good time. But the side that I did not enjoy was that I would go to restaurants, order food that I know I couldn't finish, order drinks, and just keep drinking. The waiters know me by name, not because I'm spending so much, because I just need somebody to talk to. I ran through tens of thousands of dollars on that. So that's something you don't want to be in. That's now that I'm aware of that, I gotta be careful. Luckily, you know, I'm not the alcoholic. I'm not. When I say I order drinks and drinks, I mean I order pina coladas. I just This ain't no Homer Simpson at a bar, you know, slurring back beers or vodka. No, I'm talking about pina coladas. I I was getting drunk off of pina coladas, guys. Pina coladas. so so aside that, I would go to the gym. You know, luckily I'm not the type that drinks like that. Smokes. I go to the gym. You know, and I don't eat a lot. In a way, it's pretty healthy depression. I have a very healthy depression. I literally lay around, sleep, feel shitty, go on long walks in gym sessions, drink pina colada, a girly drink, and and learn things, make money, learn things. You know, I just didn't like the excessive spending, trying to just get a girlfriend to, you know. And the women I didn't meet during that time, it kind of felt like they were just trying to shit on me to begin with. So, and I didn't really stand up for myself like I should have. And when I mean stand up, I mean I should show them the door, quick. I let them gaslight me and say shit like, "Oh, you know, this place could look better." Yeah, of course this place could look better. I'm not in the mood. I don't feel like getting up and cleaning. This place was destroyed. I'm fixing it up, guys. I'm fixing it up. I'm actively fixing this place up. I'm doing something that you've never thought about ever doing in your life to begin with, which is learning how to do flooring, learning how to work with cement, changing light bulb, like actual wiring things all throughout the house. It don't look nice, but guess what? It wasn't left nice. Before these women got to this particular house, right? There was 8 gallons of urine scattered around, and literally feces, human feces from tenants during COVID. You don't see none of that. All you see are empty cupboards with no plates and spoons, and fridge with no food. And you're still trying to kick me, and I'm telling you why I'm down. So yeah. Oh, I just should have just bye. The door is there. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. So anyways, and then let's talk about Johnny too, the one that just called. You know, he did the same thing. He just went and pulled out money from his 401k. Only reason why you should pull out money for your 401k is to pay off your mortgage. Maybe send your kids to school. Maybe. It just depends on the dynamic you have. And a lot of parents too, they sign these. There are like these parent plus packages where you basically take on the debt for your kids, and you just have to pay on it for like 30 years. The idea is you never finish paying on it, right? Some parents will do that, you know. But anyways, took out his 401k to pay down his credit cards. He has $45,000 in credit cards. This is a guy who's buying puppies for 2,000. This guy who's giving women $200 here, $200 there, for no reason. There's no benefit to it. He's not doing anything illegal. He's just being too nice. You could do something illegal. And after spending $200, you might as well go to Nevada. Is it Arizona or Nevada where pay for play is legal? You might as well, you know. So yeah, he has 45K of debt, of credit card debt. Took out 15K, and I told him not to do that. You need to pay off your debt over time, slowly and painfully. You need to experience having. You really need to experience that interest rate killing you. You really do, because you obviously don't understand that just because you don't have it now, you'll have it tomorrow. But once you get into debt, you will not have it tomorrow. You don't have it now. That's why you spent your money with a credit card, and you're not gonna have it tomorrow, and you're not gonna have it the next day. So maybe if you pay off your shit slowly, you'll come after at some point of paying it off. You'll come to be like, I don't ever want to be in this situation ever again, and you're gonna be in it a couple of more times. But then you'll get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm done doing all that. That's crazy. People put themselves in so much debt. Let's say you make 40K after taxes. Let's say you bring home 30K. I'm just making it super simple, guys. After taxes and certain expenses, 30K. And then after rent and car, you only have about 15K. Kids, 7K. And then credit card, just take the rest of it. That's why if you find yourself having to use credit cards all the time because you gotta wait till your next paycheck, you have a negative balance of money. Whatever it is in the beginning of the month, if you have to wait a few days for money and then you have to use a credit card or so to buy food and gas, even if you make $100,000 a year, I promise you, at the end of the year you owe a negative two grand, a negative 15 grand, depending on how bad it is. You're not seeing your money because you don't have any money to see. You've actively enslaved yourself for a bag of Doritos and a girl who, if you say one or two things that upsets her or she's just bored, is gonna leave you behind. Leave these people alone and figure your stuff out. Get yourself in order. Debt is a behavior. You just like weight gain, right? And weight loss. You didn't gain all this weight overnight. You're not gonna lose it all overnight. You gotta form a habit of losing weight. Once you do that, in maybe 5 years, 8 years, you'll be a different person. It's not gonna happen in the next 30 days, 90. Just like heartbreak. I just talked about this the other day. Getting over your ex. I dropped a video called "Getting Over Your Ex" alive. You didn't fall in love with your ex unless you're me, who be falling in love overnight. You didn't form a valuable, loving relationship that you valued and you thought was precious. You held precious to yourself. You didn't do that overnight, so you're not gonna get over your ex overnight. Only thing you can do overnight is go to jail, ruin your ability to hold employment, ruin your relationships with your other friends. Woo, this Mustang behind me is nice. They've got like the little halo lights. And to be honest, I thought they were tacky. But as I'm looking at this guy who has it, they don't look tacky at all. They look nice. I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, they look very nice. Yeah, that looks very, very nice. So he doesn't have his full beam on. What he has right now is his like, is it medium beam? His fog lights. Because of that, I see the little trim. It's like the triangle, whatever trim, and then I see his like side hashes or side markers in the light. So my model of Mustang, I particularly never really liked it because of the grill. Because I always wanted those double circles lights because I thought those are very aggressive and sexy. Since I don't have those, I never really liked my grill setup. So I've always wanted to change up my grill. Yeah, that's pretty. Anyways, you didn't fall in love with your ex overnight, unless y'all had that love at first sight. Which with my ex, honestly, it kind of was love at first sight. Her and I were head over heels for each other after 3 months. Like we could have literally been married after 3 months. Literally, I till this day, I still think she genuinely loved me, and I genuinely loved her. Even in the breakup process, you felt that tension. Like neither one of us necessarily wanted to hurt each other, but at the end of the day, she felt like she had to leave for whatever reason, so she left. So what can you do? But all that said and done, and put to the side, you didn't fall in love with her overnight, so you can't get over her overnight. Send your is it called mixed connections on Craigslist? It's called mixed connections. Send your mixed connections email or text message. Hey, I miss you. Da da da. But because you didn't fall in love with her overnight, you can't get over her overnight. So you can send those kind of text messages. You're on my mind, whatever. But it's gonna take time. You can speed it up, kind of, by going to the gym, working on your diet, becoming a better person. Like all these so-called YouTubers talk about. But you getting your money up is not going to lead to you getting a better woman. It'll lead to maybe a better living situation, right? But not necessarily a better woman. Better woman and just attracting a better man or better woman comes from within. Comes from within. Like you being able to understand that, I don't like this behavior. I don't like how I'm treated. You don't have to drop somebody overnight. Like they did one thing, you're done. But you should be able to learn how to voice how you're feeling, you know, um, properly represent what's going on in your mind and represent that image and that concept to whoever you are trying to work with. As long as you can do that, you'll be able to attract better people, keep better people in your life, right? So, money is a behavior, debt is a behavior, love is a behavior. Um, I mentioned a third one, but these things you don't get overnight, so you're not gonna lose it overnight, And so you have to go through the process. Anytime you take out money, because I'm gonna wrap this up. I've talked long enough. Anytime you take out debt, anytime you take out money, you come into a huge sum of money. You try to pay off your debt. You're gonna be in that same amount of debt 6 months from now. Oh yeah, sorry. And gaining weight. You didn't gain weight or become obese overnight. So you go get the surgery, right? You drop 50, 60 pounds. The doctors got you on liquids, and you're peeing and shitting apple juice. Guess what? Once that's done and said, you're gonna gain all that weight plus more, right? It's gonna come right back to you because you didn't go through the process. You didn't build the habits. So certain habits you build is like making sure you go to sleep on time, sleep 8 hours, you know, eat more vegetables, drink a gallon of water every day, the simple stuff. Slowly wean yourself off of sugar. These are the things that you do to lose weight, drop the weight, and be successful about it. And you have to apply the same things with debt, right? Be paying everything on time. Do the snowball effect. Pay off your minimums. I mean, your smaller amounts. Actually, roll that money over into the next thing that you're gonna pay off. Not, oh, I have $50 free that I can do now, do whatever with. I'm gonna go buy an extra beer. No, take that money, roll it into your next one, pay that off. Roll it to your next one, pay that off. If you don't have the money for something, don't buy it. Just wait. Just wait. You get paid in 2 weeks. Just wait. Chill out. You know. Um, don't eat out all the time. But groceries for 1 week at Aldi is $70, $80 for a single guy, right? And that's me buying high like like protein and stuff like that. But a box of noodles like $2. A big thing of oatmeal is $2. I can eat oatmeal day and night for 3 days before I crush it at all. Like I won't come close to crushing it. So if I really want to ball on a budget, Aldi $25, I'm good for the whole week. I'm good, you know. So $70 is a premium engineering income kind of groceries. But the problem then is you go and take that girl out for a $200 dinner date. Drinks are like $12 to $20 to $40 per drink in DC. Chill, you know. Yeah. So it's a behavior. Love is a behavior. You know. Um, Weight loss, weight gain is a behavior, and owing people money is a behavior. All these things are behavioral. It's just like waking up every morning. You make your bed first. Make your bed. You brush your teeth. You take a shower. You do your facial routine, whatever. You go for a run. You get to work on time. You know. You pack your own lunch. You do these things, you know, then you form healthy boundaries. Then when you meet somebody, right? First of all, you won't be in debt because all this is in house. And then two, now when you meet somebody and you see their life is chaotic, then you can be like, I don't want to be dragged into that. Because marriage and relationships are all about money. Without money, there's no romance. So once you marry or you find somebody and y'all move in together, if she's in debt or he's in debt, you're in debt. So you got to find somebody that behaves the same way. That's why I don't like the whole American concept of just dating. Because just dating means I can meet a Swedish woman, a Portuguese woman, yeah, a Chinese woman, even a Nigerian woman, whatever, and I can just date them, and I'll just blend in with their family. When their family hasn't like my family, tight, dark, or whatever the stereotype is, situation is, so you can't really blend families like that all the time. That's what dating makes it seem. They makes it seem that me and you can do all sorts of adult things, and then we'll get married, have a picket white fence, perfect. No, that's why I'm actually more for arranged marriages, because my family knows how we are. We move. We already know how your family moves and operates. We can talk and communicate. A group of people and a group of people behind two people that will create another community. That's what that is all about. Um, and dating, and it's not that you can't make it work. Me and Nigerian can't make it work for Chinese. Actually, we have so much in common. And it's not that I can't make it work for Portuguese or a Black American or whatever. Nah, the problem is that concept of dating. It's so loose, and just how loose it is, people's finances are loose. That's why you can meet a woman, or I'm not even gonna say or a man. You can meet a woman, and she expects you to just drop $200 on a date to $400. It's like, do you not have parents? You know? Like, I need to come see your parents and see, like, are they dropping 200 to 400? And the thing is, they're not. They're not. Because the thing about dating is it's some part of it takes the human side out of it. Like it's like you're just a guy, you're just a woman. Why? Because you never took this guy to go see your dad and see your mom and have that relationship built. And that's what dating does. Because dating is not courting. Courting is a lot different. Courting is I know your family, know everybody. There's a point that we're going to. Dating is like we just doing this. Anyways, I'm home. See you guys later. Oh, there's one person on. Oh, her Green Garden says, "What does this have to do with debt?" Well, I talked a lot about debt, and everything ties in. Debt is a behavior. Relationships are behaviors. Dating is a behavior. Um, weight loss, weight gain, all these things are behavior. And you incur debt through all these things. You incur debt being in love because you do stupid things when you're in love. Being in love is like being drunk. You incur debt when you're eating more than you should be and eating bad foods. And then when you're unhealthy, then you spend more money. That's more debt. If you go to the emergency room right now, you're gonna get a $500+ bill coming to your door. That's debt. So yeah, everything I talked about today has everything to do with debt. But yeah, thanks for the comment. Gotta go. Oh, I see. She clicked off. Yeah, she gave me the what does this have to do with debt, and I gave her answer. All right, talk to you guys later.